I'm Diane Reeves and welcome to my studio. I'm so happy to share this space with you today. My studio is located in the garage of our house that was built in the early 1900s. We bought our house last November, and then the first big project we took on was creating studio space for me. So half of the garage is my studio and the other half is all of our tools and things, and so I hung a drop cloth, which is like my go-to for everything. Drop cloth curtain to divide the space. And then my husband Jeremy built me some bifold doors. I love those because it opens up to our covered patio and it really expands the space. I mean, it makes it like twice the size, and I love that. And then he turned my entry door into a Dutch door, so that's just like a fun, cute detail. Since we moved to our new town, I have discovered the beauty, the sculptural quality really of tumbleweeds, and I actually have some of those available on my site if you're interested in adding some natural sculptures to your space. They're beautiful, and the texture and everything. I love them. One of the things I added to our outdoor space was the vintage furniture and the vintage railway cart. More drop cloth, as you can see, to kind of create a cozy space. And then we completely redid this covered area. It was pretty ugly before, and I love how it's turned out. I made some wall sconces in the back out of some metal drawers that I found in a trash pile. It's just come together, and it feels like a really inviting space. We spend a lot of time out here. My rituals for entering into my studio begin with opening up the doors, letting in the light, lighting candles, start my music, and then start my morning pages. I sort of write just stream of consciousness into a journal to get whatever it is that's filling up my headspace, to get it out. It helps me process and feel like I can work through things that might be negative self-talk, doubts, all those fears, insecurities that sort of rise up. It's a way for me to kind of work through those. Space matters, what we're surrounded with matters, and so I try to put things in my studio that are really meaningful to me. I have shells from the Oregon coast and rocks that I collected there, and a lot of my inspiration books are out here, but I also keep a pretty decent stash in our house too. And I have foraged items that I recently found at the reservoir near our home, and then I have my giant inspiration board, which I love. It's homosote covered with painted burlap. There's a tutorial on iSwoon's blog for that. And my reminder that there's room for who I am, for what I'm creating. It's so easy for me to believe the lie that there isn't room, and so I have that up there. I have my postcard from my first show, Inside a Hidden City, that I did last May. That was such an incredible experience. And then I have things that inspire me, be like for art, for interiors, just anything. I really love the contrast with my metal cabinet, the books, the nature, the inspiration board with the looks linen hanging on the walls of the garage. I love the tonal qualities that are happening with everything. I try to provide myself with a lot of visual white space, but I still want the texture there so that it feels interesting and it's not boring and it feels cozy and inviting. We kept the ceiling of the garage in the raw wood state, and there's like chains, there's all kinds of things up in the ceiling, and I really like that. And the cement floor, love that. So after I do my stream of conscious writing, I go through my inspiration books. I have several that I go to regularly. Honestly, I want to believe that I can always find something new in some of my books. I want to believe that I can see something that I haven't noticed before. Sometimes it's an exercise in and of itself just to open up a book that I've flipped through hundreds of times and think, I'll find something new. I grab my sketchbook, my Sumi ink and a brush and just start sketching lines. I'm so inspired by intersecting lines and shapes, and I try to do it in an abstract way. I don't want it to feel literal. I do this on the floor typically. I spread out, and it's just like a nice way to get comfortable and feel free as I'm doing it. These sketches often provide the composition for paintings that I do, and I've turned small portions of a sketch into a larger painting. And I love to collage these on the wall because I love seeing them all together. That is one of my most favorite things, and just the way that they live alongside each other really drives my inspiration and thought process when I'm thinking about what's next. After I sketch, I move on to painting, and I've been using these wooden blocks to sort of elevate my canvases on my easel. These are handmade here in our studio here in Colorado, and they're also great for the floor, so I do that too because I love to paint on the floor as well. This is a piece I've been working on for a while, and I'm using my go-to colors. Black gesso is my go-to. I keep most of my supplies accessible on this vintage table. It belonged to Jeremy's Grams. I love acrylic paint. I love oil pastels. This box of pastels belonged to my grandmother. Both of my grandmothers were artists, and as I've found that come out in myself, it's just lovely to have things in this space that connect me to them. And then my paint palettes are actually vintage airline trays from TWA that I got from like a antique store in Springfield, Missouri, one time when we were on a road trip from St. Louis to Oklahoma. So those are fun. They're caked with paint, and we have a stack of those that we use for lots of different things. I'm so glad you could come into my space with me. Thanks for checking it out, and hope you have a great day.